the Administrative Professional Development on the Revised Texas Standards for Language Arts and Reading. My name is waynel and I've worked in public education as a teacher and administrator for 32 years. I'm currently an assistant professor in the Children's Learning Institute at the University of Texas Health Science Center.
My name is Twyla Bogler, and I have worked in public education for over 20 years, and I am the project manager for the TEX Professional Development Project at the Children's Learning Institute at the University of Texas Health Science Center.
This session is an overview of the standards outlining what all students in Texas are expected to know and to be able to do in the area of language arts and reading. Before we begin, please be certain that you have viewed video segment 1, Material Preparation and Viewing Options. In this session, we will examine 3 sets of standards for what Texas students are expected to know and to be able to do. The first set of standards is the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, or TEX, as in Texas, for English Language Arts and Reading, Spanish Language Arts and Reading, English for speakers of other languages. The second set of standards is the newly revised English Language Proficiency Standards, referred to as the ELPS. These apply to all core content areas and electives found in the text. The ELPS address the English language needs of English language learners. The last set of standards we'll look at are the College and Career Readiness Standards. These are the standards that students are to attain before graduating from high school in order to succeed in their post-secondary education or careers. We often refer to these as the CCRS. The icons on the slide are used throughout the presentation to refer to each set of standards. The 5-pointed text star represents the 5 strands of our ELAR/SLAR Texas standards: reading, writing, oral and written conventions, research, and listening and speaking. The ELPS globe represents the diversity of English language learners in the state of Texas, while the CCRS Sun and Mortar Board represent the bright future for Texas students. In this session, we'll learn the purpose and structure of each of these 3 sets of standards and explore how they're integrated. We'll also look at how the standards are aligned with one another and how they can help us meet the needs of all learners, from the time they're in kindergarten to their post-secondary experiences in college and careers. The TEX are the standards in Texas, and the Texas Assessment of Knowledge and Skills, or our TAKS, is the method of assessing students on mastery of these standards. As this slide shows, the standards drive assessment. Please locate your Frequently Asked Questions document and turn to page 14. In the middle of the page, find the words TAKS Test. The frequently asked question is, when will the TAKS test change? The answer is, it will change in the 2011-12 academic school year. In the interim, all questions on the current TAKS test have been examined in light of the new TEX curriculum. As a result, it has been determined that all questions currently eligible for inclusion on the TAKS will continue to be eligible in the 2009-10 and the 2010-11 school years. You may want to star or flag this important information. In this session, we will look at the TEX and the ELPS and the CCRS. The first thing to notice is that each set of standards addresses the areas of reading, writing, speaking, listening, oral and written conventions, and learning strategies or metacognitive strategies for students. Our 3 sets of standards are remarkably similar. Let's take a moment to think about what it means to have a set or sets of standards. The standards state what students are expected to know and be able to do. They are divided into strands of similar skills and concepts for use in planning, such as reading strand, writing strand, and listening and speaking strand. The standards are meant to be integrated and taught in context. The standards are not meant to replace a scope and sequence. The standards do not provide specific instructional routines, but instead provide a set of guidelines for student growth and learning.